Hello, everybody. Cryptic Panther here. I wasn't planning on doing a rant this fast. I had an idea for an upcoming rant, and I happened to be just browsing Reddit, and I seen this article posted. I don't play the game Overwatch. If anyone that knows me knows I've made fun of my friends that play it. I call it overrated. I just didn't get into the game. I tried the demo or the beta when it was out. Just wasn't something I like to play. The Twitch shooters and the powers and stuff just aren't my thing. Same with Destiny. I don't really care for the PvP part of it. I enjoy the PvE a lot more, doing strikes and doing the raid and just general fucking around and getting to play with some friends. But yeah, I mean Overwatch. If you like it, you like it. That's cool. It's fine. But here's the thing. The developers released this article was released on the GameSpot website, and I'll link it in the description if you want to read it and watch the video. It says Overwatch development has been slowed due to need to address rising tide of toxicity. Jesus, I shouldn't be recording these so fucking early in the morning. I can't even speak. But you know what I'm saying? Toxic fucking environment in the video games. So I'll admit there's been times in the past I've trolled people, maybe spoken at a turn, called someone a fucking unkindly name, called them a douchebag, a cunt, loser. That happens. I mean, you get frustrated, you're playing, things get said, I curse and swear. I don't have a filter. But I don't perceive myself as being one of the players that is so overly toxic that, I get reported. I mean, yeah, okay, people like to say, oh, yeah, I know someone at Sony, and I know someone at DICE, or I know someone here, I'm there, I'm going to call my uncle that works at this developer and get you banned for life. Those are just crybabies that just don't like being beat. I've seen the messages related to Battlefield 1. The messages I just seen one posted on Reddit today in the Destiny subreddit, where a guy was calling a guy a faggot and a fucking loser repeatedly in a message. And the same thing was going on in Friday the 13th. I stopped playing Friday the 13th. I mean, just, me and my friend just kind of moved on to some other games. And I love Friday the 13th. It was fun. It had problems, and it was sometimes hard to get into a match and no host migration. But outside of that, there was a toxic fucking community. I mean, people would glitch on purpose, and then whenever you get into an area where you could voice chat with them because you get communication close enough. If they had a mic or headphones, you could tell them, like, hey, you're gonna get banned for this. Let's glitch it up. Fuck you. Can't ban me. Like, people just acting like fucking babies and assholes. It's one thing if the game glitches and puts you somewhere where you can't do something or can't get killed. That's not your fault. But to intentionally do a glitch is being a fucking asshole. It's the same as being a toxic player, like messaging people after a game if you get beaten, calling them faggots and cunts and saying they suck repeatedly, or even if you win, doing it and just basically shitting on someone because they're not as good as the game as you. It's fucking sickening that the gaming culture has gone from just, teabagging, the odd time using the word faggot. And I mean, I'm not homophobic, and I'm not saying it's a gay slur. Calling someone a faggot sometimes is just, you're being a fucking asshole, being a cunt. The word comes out. It's not meant to be negative towards anyone that's gay. But the toxic level of gaming, it's pretty bad when the developers have to come out and make a 7-minute video to tell people that, hey, stop being a fucking cunt when you play our game. There in the article it says they've taken action against over 480,000 accounts since game launch in May last year. And 340,000 of those have been direct results of player reporting system. So they also mentioned that the player reporting system is now available on console because originally it was only on PC. They've gone to the point now where they've slowed developing for the game to take care of the toxic community that this game has bred, because people play this game on such a competitive level, and I'm air quoting when I say competitive. It's a fucking video game you're playing in your basement at your mom's house. And I just stereotyped everybody. I'm kidding. Fuck. Stop. I mean, yes, it's one thing to get mad and frustrated. Hell, I get mad and frustrated at video games. I get mad and frustrated at online multiplayer games when I can't kill somebody or I fuck up. I don't blame the other guy. If someone's better than me at a video game, fine. If someone's being a fucking camping douchebag, either leave them to camping, being a camping douchebag, or fucking take care of them in a manner you can. Don't call them, don't be the toxic player that comes out and just spam someone messages or spam someone enough where you become the toxic player. The players that want to camp and want to and be douchebags in the game, if you leave them, eventually they'll get tired of being a camp and douchebag, or go play another server, go play on a different server, leave. Don't feed the trolls. But there's also the other side of the toxic players. And I'm talking to anyone that is a toxic player, stop being a fucking cunt. There's no need of it. There's no need to be treating anybody that isn't as good as the game, and I'm air quoting as good as you in a game. There's no need to be a fucking bitch and go on it and shit on someone just because, okay, they can't use this character as well as you can, or they don't get as many kills as you. The higher level players in some of these competitive style games, they don't have any patience for new players. In Destiny, there's been so much praise in the first Destiny, and there's going to be some toxicity is there as well. Hey, I said the word. I got it out finally. But it's sad that the developers of video games have to stop developing their video games to come up with tools to stop people from being raging cunts. Stop shitting on people who play the same game as you. Maybe they don't have as much time to play the game as you. Maybe they couldn't afford it when it came out, so they didn't buy it day one. They haven't been playing it for a fucking year. They've been playing it for 2 weeks. In Destiny, they have people that would randomly message you, hey, can you help me with a strike? Help me with a raid? Whatever. And there's been people that I know that have just joined up with randoms and done missions and done like story missions and done adventure stuff and strikes. I hooked up with a couple of randoms one time and ran a strike in Destiny 1. It was great. I didn't even know the guys. It was fun. But you come into a game, especially a competitive shooter, I find are just worse. They just breed the worst type of people. And this, Call of Duty at one time was known to have one of the most toxic communities. And, I'm not laying blame, but it became a thing on YouTube where the YouTubers that had, the more following and they were like good COD players, they became toxic and the community like followed them and fed off them. Like they'd go into a match and they'd be like just cursing and swearing and calling everybody down and saying, yeah, I fucking smoked you, noob. And it just became this pissing match of who could be the most toxic piece of shit in a video game. And the fucking people following them figured, if so-and-so on YouTube is a fucking giant dick, and everyone likes him and follows him and follows his videos and subscribes to him and likes his shit and comments, then I'm gonna play the game and I'm gonna be a giant fucking piece of shit, and I'm gonna fucking treat everyone I play against as a piece of shit, and I'm gonna shit on them and call them names and call them down, and I'm gonna be a fucking asshole. There's no fucking need of that. It's one thing to teabag someone, it's something to give a little rib, but don't become one of those players where everybody fucking hates you. Like, oh fuck, here's this asshole again playing this, doing this again. Like, he's gonna lose, he's gonna send everybody a message calling them all faggots and cunts and crybabies. Don't be that. Well, watch some YouTubers that actually, when they play games, and especially in multiplayer competitive style, don't fucking call down other players that they beat. Or, when they get killed by somebody that is better than them, they don't, say, oh, they're fucking hacking and cheating. Those are the mentality that drives the young minds are the ones, they follow those and they feed off that hate. And then they think that's how they have to act. So it's not just the random player, Joe Blow down the street or Jane Doe down the street, that's a raging cunt and a toxic player. It's the YouTubers as well. So, don't, believe everything you see. Don't believe everything you hear. And the way these people act, a lot of times is for fucking show. So don't be like those toxic players. And don't be one. Don't shit on someone who plays the same game as you. Because, it's this. Development has to slow down and stop in video games to address toxic players. So what does that tell you? If you like the game and you're playing the game and you're being the toxic player, the developer's slowing down making new content for you because you're being a fucking cunt. So just stop it. Just stop. If you're going to get mad at yourself because you're not that good. Because maybe you suck. You ever think of that? But don't be a part of the problem. be a part of this fucking solution. Yeah, I know it's a fucking quote, and it's, I'm not trying to be an inspirational speaker at all, but it just pisses me off that I had to see a fucking video this early in the morning on Reddit saying that, oh, because the players in this community are so fucking toxic, we have to slow down development to create reporting tools and reporting functions to stop toxic players from abusing non-toxic players. That's fucking sad. 480,000 accounts on PC alone in a year. That is fucking sad. So my final word is just stop being toxic. Have a good day.